Hey everyone, I'm back. So today what we are going to do, we're going to play around a bit like with the most basic thing there is actually, which is the bootstrapping of Angular application. In the beginning I actually wanted it to be about the ng upgrade, but then I tried it and actually I still cannot really do it just like this to show you. So I discovered that we can actually do something which is just as interesting and like to get a deeper understanding of how Angular actually works. So what we are going to do is we are going to use StackBlitz, which is a pretty great website which enables us to create like a small Angular examples which just work. Like we have a nice workspace. It has embedded VS Code style. Editor is actually even VS Code. I don't really know. I am using IntelliJ IDEA actually, but I was already thinking about switching, which is it's a pretty cool editor. So as you can see, we have this editor. If you've never seen it before, we can specify and like basically the dependencies will be downloaded in the background from the npm. So we can actually make a real project. This thing runs Angular dev build in the background, most probably powered by Angular CLI, but who knows, maybe they have like some custom webpack config, but actually no, there is an Angular JSON file. That means it's by the use of the Angular CLI. So it's pretty flexible, and we can do really a lot here in terms of like development and trying things out. So what we are starting with is it's a very basic setup. We have an app module with some basic app and hello component. We have index.html with my app loading, and the main TES, which is like kind of the entry point where we have a platform, browser, dynamic, bootstrap module, app module. The custom thing related to the StackBlitz is this, which is basically, as they write here, is to ensure that Angular destroys itself on hot reloads, because like just to make the build work for us and we don't have to like wait too much. So actually hot reloading is even much faster than the all rebuilds, even though with these small kind of examples it shouldn't really matter. So first thing we want to do is to basically clean this up so we have like a clean slate so we can start. So let's delete the hello component, which we will not need. Let's remove its import and let's remove it from declarations. And of course we have to also remove it from the app component, as you can see in this error, because cannot bind to name since it's not a known property of hello because we don't have any hello. Well, that's alright. We'll replace it with a each1 tag and we'll say hello and name, which comes from our component. And in the main styles, I just don't like this font, so let's just put like a nice font for everything so that we can look at it and our eyes don't hurt. So hello Angular, you know what, hello Tomas or Tomasz, but that's alright. Okay, so we have this. So as we said before, there is this main TS file where we basically bootstrap our application, so platform, browser, dynamic, bootstrap module, app module. But actually what we see is the app component. So how does this work? So in the app module, we have these declarations where it's like all the components which are provided like to be used in the templates. But not only that, there is also a bootstrap array which contains the app component too. And this is why Angular actually knows what to bootstrap. Plus, it has to be also used here. So it's called now my app currently. I find it a bit weird, so let's rename it to match the name as everything else. So it should be called app or just app, or yeah, it's app, so it's app component. So now this is broken, of course. So we have to rename this to app and to app, and we are rolling. So what would happen? Let's also open like the DevTools with the pushing of F12 key. So here we have some global styles. But let's have a look into our template. So there's a head tag with some stuff in it. And this is our style. The global styles, they actually get injected straight here into the head. So that's also the same when you are like implementing your own Angular application using Angular CLI. Another thing is in the body, which is here, we don't have the full HTML because the stack bleeds, but that's all right. This template is used. So here we have this app, and it says the version of Angular is 619, and then we can see the content of this component. So that's pretty cool. So what would happen if we just remove this? So the document is there, but the body is empty, so there is nowhere to bootstrap this thing. So that's not correct. If we put it back, we should get it. And we got it. So as we can see in our body, there is an app. So what would happen if we actually put it here twice? Any guesses? So we still get only one application, or do we get more? So we kind of get the element is still there, but only one element is actually used to bootstrap it. So what if we specified app component in our app module as a bootstrap component twice? Can we get two different Angular applications from the two different instances of the same Angular application? What's going on here? No, we can't. What if we separated their DOM so that they are not siblings, but actually that they are separated into the... Oh no, I have to get used to this editor. As I said, I'm using IntelliJ IDEA, which has a little bit different code shortcuts, so it works kind of differently. So what would happen if we separated them in a DOM? We get two loadings, but still, as it seems to be, only the one is converted into Angular application. So what if we had like app1, or like, okay, app and another app, both part of the same ng module for whatever reason? We are just exploring this. So of course, this now should fail, or actually not even that, because normally the Angular would not be happy about like using a different tag inside of a Angular template, but this is outside and browser actually doesn't mind, so we just get loading because it doesn't know the tag. But if we put this here, Angular will not be happy because it doesn't know this kind of element, so that's all right. So what we have to do is now to create another app component, which we'll just do here in line because it's just much faster, just for the demonstration purposes. So add component, which is a decorator where we can specify selector. So first we import it. This doesn't work here automatically. At least I don't know how selector, so maybe it does, but I don't know this editor that well. But I guess we will get better over time. So as we said, it's another app. And not only that, we need at least some basic template, for which we will use ECMAScript 6 strings so that we are flexible. And we call it, or let's put it h1. The disadvantage of using ECMAScript 6 strings is that we don't get code completion, at least not in this editor. So hello from another app. Okay, so once we have this, we still have to actually create a class for this component, because decorator has to be applied to something, so it has to be applied to a component class. Now we have to put this component into declaration and as a bootstrap component. And wow, as you can see, we got actually two different completely independent Angular apps inside, like basically from one application code base, we could actually have multiple apps which can run side by side. Maybe in that case you could argue it's better to split them off, but it's just showing like what's possible. So we can see them both here. So what would happen if we put them into the DOM together next to each other? That's a question which I actually don't know answer to, so let's have a look. So it's loading, it's happening, stuff's happening. All right, so this is pretty cool. We have a siblings. So does the order matter? That's the question. How can I move stuff in this editor? That would be another thing. Oh yeah, that's all right. That's what we want to do. We want to move whole lines of code without needing to select them and type them because it's much faster. Okay, so this seems pretty cool. So actually we can just play around and change the order of our apps, and actually they can be siblings. What's going to happen if we change the order of the bootstrapping? Do these things matter? This is not clear like without trying. Or what if we change the order of the declarations? Will this break? No, as it seems to be the case, it is just working. What about this? Oh yeah, okay, that's amazing.